Our story today is the life story of our immortal sage Markandeya Ji, how sage Markandeya Ji won over his death, and how Lord Vishnu showed his mercy.
Sage Markandeya, a devotee of both Shiva and Vishnu, belonged to the Bhrigu clan. Sage Markandeya was leading an ascetic life in a forest with his wife, Markandeya. They were childless for a long time. Markandeya performed intense tapas for several years to please Lord Shiva and asked for a child. Lord Shiva, in all his splendor, appeared before him and said, "I am pleased by your devotion. Ask any boon you desire." Markandeya, overjoyed, prayed, "O Lord, I am childless. Grant me a son." Lord Shiva replied, "Do you desire a virtuous, wise, and pious son who will live up to 16 years, or a dull-witted, evil-natured son who will live long?" Without hesitation, Markandeya chose the virtuous but short-lived son. Lord Shiva granted his request and departed. In due course, Markandeya conceived and gave birth to a son, whom they named Markandeya. The parents were overjoyed. By the age of 5, Markandeya began his studies and quickly mastered the Vedas and Shastras. His charm and pleasant demeanor endeared him to everyone. At 12, Markandeya underwent his Upanayana and was initiated into chanting the Gayatri Mantra. He diligently performed his daily prayers, delighting his parents and elders. However, his parents were secretly sorrowful, knowing his life was destined to be brief. As Markandeya's 16th birthday approached, his parents, unable to contain their grief, revealed the truth. Markandeya consoled them, saying that wise people should not fear death as it is as natural as birth.
Determined to overcome his fate, Markandeya sought his parents' blessings to perform intense penance to please Lord Shiva. They blessed him, and he began his worship. On the day Markandeya was to turn 16, Yama, the god of death, sent his servants to claim his life, but they were unable to approach the boy due to his divine aura. Finally, Yama himself arrived on his black buffalo, holding his noose. He saw Markandeya deeply engrossed in worship of the Shiva linga. Interrupting the worship, Yama declared that Markandeya's time was up, but Markandeya refused, proclaiming, "My lord will protect me." When Yama threw his noose, it encircled both Markandeya and the Shiva linga. Markandeya closed his eyes and completely surrendered himself before Mahadev. To his astonishment, with his closed eyes, he felt the Shiva linga move. Startled, he opened his eyes and saw none other than Mahadev himself standing before him. His longing to have a direct vision of Mahadev was fulfilled. At that moment, he felt as if he was enveloped in a protective shield, making him invulnerable to any harm, not even death. However, Mahadev's mind was not at peace. His face was fierce with rage, and his trident was raised, pointing at Yama, the god of death who had cast his noose. Yama, overwhelmed with fear, retreated. Mahadev roared in anger and threatened to open his third eye. Yama stood petrified as he was only there to claim Markandeya's life, for his time on earth had ended. "He shall live forever," Mahadev declared, raising his trident and piercing Yama with it. Yama tried to evade, but the trident struck him in the chest, and he fell lifeless. The Lord of Death was defeated by death itself. At once, Lord Indra and other deities appeared before Mahadev, who was still glaring at Yama with fury. They gazed in wonder at Markandeya's serene face, realizing the boy had accomplished something unprecedented. Indra then bowed to Mahadev and pleaded with him to restore Yama's life, explaining that the balance on earth would be disrupted without the Lord of Death. Hearing this, Mahadev calmed down and agreed to revive Yama, on the condition that Markandeya would live forever, having conquered death. All the gods accepted this condition, and Yama's eyes opened as the wound on his chest healed. Yama looked at Markandeya, smiled, and vanished. Mahadev blessed Markandeya, saying, "You shall remain 16 years old for eternity. Every wish of yours will be fulfilled. You will never age and will remain righteous and renowned until the end of the world. Omniscience will be your greatest asset." From that day, Markandeya was known as Mahamrityunjaya, the conqueror of death, and Kalakala, the one who ends time. Markandeya returned to his parents, who were overjoyed to hear of his miraculous story. He remained perpetually youthful, never aging beyond 16. The form of Mahadev that vanquished Yama is known as Kala Samhara Murti. meaning the form that annihilates death. According to Hindu scriptures, sage Markandeya is still alive among us, doing good for all, and is revered as one of the Chiranjeevis, immortals. In the assembly of Brahma Rishis, it was narrated that Markandeya was the son of Markandeya Rishi. From his childhood, his father taught him uninterrupted celibacy and the practice of constant chanting of mantras along with austerity. Markandeya Rishi gave him the teachings of celibacy and instructed him to perform severe penance while chanting the Mahamrityunjaya Mantra. Following his father's guidance, Markandeya performed penance methodically, studied scriptures, and took a lifelong vow of uninterrupted celibacy. He always remained calm and composed. He bore heavy matted hair on his head, smeared ash on his body, wore a loincloth made of tree bark, and carried a water pot and a staff to protect living beings. This was his ascetic appearance. Before sitting on a seat made of black deerskin, he would remove any living beings from the spot. Once, Markandeya Rishi deeply worshipped Lord Vishnu. Pleased with his devotion, Lord Vishnu appeared before him. Markandeya Rishi then requested, "I wish to see your Maya, divine illusion." The Lord granted his wish by saying, "Tathastu," and disappeared. However, Markandeya Rishi forgot all about the divine Maya of the Lord. Then came the dreadful time of the great deluge. The catastrophic sun rose, clouds began to roar, lightning struck fiercely, and constellations started to fall. Rivers dried up. There was fire everywhere above and below. Assisted by strong winds, this consuming fire burnt everything to ashes. Amidst this great and terrible deluge, only the great sage Markandeya remained in meditation. However, the deluge eventually disturbed him as well. Overwhelmed by the situation, he became unconscious and started running to find shelter. No place of rest was visible to him. Everywhere, there was only the flames engulfing the sky. The devotee called out to the Lord. Suddenly, he saw a banyan tree. Taking refuge at its root, Markandeya found a place untouched by fire, sparks, or lightning. The sage went into deep meditation. Soon the sky was filled with black and yellow clouds, and torrential rain began. The fierce fire of the deluge was extinguished. The entire earth was submerged in water. Everywhere there was only water. Neither gods, demons, nor humans existed anymore. There was no banyan tree, moon, sun, fire, wind, or living creature. There was an eerie silence. The sage started to drown. He attempted to swim but failed. Finally, swept away by the strong current, he surrendered to the Lord in his mind. The divine voice of the Lord echoed. He then saw the same great banyan tree floating on the water. On one of its vast branches, there was a divine bed adorned with celestial gems. The bed was a treasure of opulence, with various forms of bedding spread on it. Seated on the bed was the child form of Lord Krishna, radiating extraordinary splendor. The sage was captivated by the sight of this miraculous child, who was adorned with brilliant ornaments. In his 4 hands, he held a conch, discus, mace, and lotus. The divine child smiled, and with his captivating presence, he invited the sage. Unable to resist, the sage entered the child's open mouth. Inside, the sage witnessed an astonishing world with countless realms, seas, islands, lands, jewels, mountains, trees, animals, birds, gods, celestial beings, sages, heavenly maidens, heavens, underworlds, sacred places, and much more. However, despite wandering through these infinite worlds, he could not find the edge of the child's divine body. Eventually, overwhelmed and exhausted, the sage surrendered to Lord Krishna again. The child opened his mouth, and Markandeya emerged outside. Upon emerging, he saw the same banyan tree, and on its branch the divine child was seated, smiling and radiating his enchanting aura. Astonished, the sage bowed down and praised the Lord repeatedly. Pleased with his devotion, the Lord said, "Tell me, O sage, what do you desire? I will fulfill all your wishes." Markandeya replied, "O Lord, I wish to know your true form. I wandered through countless worlds within your body but could not comprehend it. Who are you? Why is the entire universe within your body? Please reveal this divine secret to me." Hearing the sage's words, the radiant Lord consoled him and said, O Brahman, not even the gods can fully know me. However, I am pleased with your devotion and will reveal my secret to you. Listen carefully. In ancient times, I named water Nara, and thus I am called Narayana. This Nara is always my abode. I am the Lord of all beings and the creator of the universe. I am the eternal, indestructible, and supreme being. I am Vishnu, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, the sun, the moon, Yama, Prajapati, the giver, the sustainer, and the sacrificer. The fire is my mouth, the earth is my feet, the sun and moon are my eyes, and the sky and directions are my ears. The seas are my sweat, and the entire creation resides within me. Those who are virtuous, self-controlled, and free from desires, anger, and attachments worship me with complete devotion. I am the source of light, the eternal and the infinite. Even though I pervade all beings, I remain unknown to most. Those who sincerely worship me attain my divine form. Sinners, greedy, and wicked people cannot reach me. When righteousness declines and unrighteousness prevails, I manifest myself to protect the virtuous and restore Dharma. I am the eternal time, the creator and destroyer of all. I am the soul residing in every being. My divine Maya is beyond comprehension. The Lord further explained his divine play and assured the sage of his protection. He revealed that he would recreate the universe after 1,000 ages and instructed the sage to remain content and meditate on him. Hearing the Lord's divine words, the great devotee Markandeya was filled with joy and gratitude. He praised the Lord and became eternally blessed by his divine presence. If you like the story, then subscribe and please like, share, comment and let us know. Thanks. See you again with a new story. Bye guys.